The voice of the night girl came again. Said she heard her parents' voices. They were going to kill 2 people. Let Peter have to do something. Peter crept down the stairs. Did you see your parents talking about something? Fast forward to Halloween night. The family had dinner together as usual. Father suddenly said, "Why does the soup taste different?" Then I noticed that Peter hadn't had a bite of the soup. It occurs to taste of soup. It smells like the rat poison I bought for Peter. It turned out to be because of fear of rat poison being ingested. That's why it tastes like cinnamon. Today's soup also tastes of cinnamon. When I realized I'd eaten rat poison, my father told my mother to call an ambulance, but the words just stopped. My father held his stomach and screamed, but the phone line at home had already been cut by Peter. Broken, but it was too late. Blood gushed from my father's mouth, unwilling to fall down. The mother who saw this, he immediately drew a kitchen knife from the kitchen and ran at Peter, and caught Peter's feet as he went up the stairs. Peter screamed with fear. Suddenly I looked at my mother, spit blood like a father. Peter took the opportunity to kick him down the stairs. After a dull sound, the clock struck midnight. Halloween is officially here. Peter was stunned by the sight, waited a long time to remember to save his sister, hurriedly take the keys from mother, but my mother suddenly opened her eyes. Peter paid no attention to his mother's words. He took the key and ran upstairs. After you knocked down that clock, there was a small door behind it. The girl's voice came from inside. Gently let him help you open the lock. But right after the door opened, a girl's soft voice. Suddenly there was a rough gasp. Peter, realizing that he was wrong, turned and ran away. Peter was so frightened that he hid in his room. Fortunately, there was a knock at the door. Some kids in masks came asking for candy. After the girl hid her parents' bodies, the gate suddenly opened of its own accord. Some people outside the door. It turns out Peter was pushing it down. The man on the stairs brought it for revenge. Even if it was weird, he had the courage to enter the house. The people who broke into his house began to look for Peter in the house. No sign of Peter. Found blood and bodies all over the floor. The boy laughed in horror, but it was too late. The killing has begun. At last, the monster found Peter. That's when Peter really saw the monster he was. Sister, he can be like a spider, crawling along the walls with twisted limbs. My sister said Peter's parents were ecstatic when he was born, and I was born in exchange for their screams. Father dug a hole in the basement, made a cage, kept him there. Peter was sleeping in his warm bed. I suffer among cobwebs and rats. He put Peter in the little room behind the clock. Let's give him a taste of what he's been through all these years. That's when it happened. I can't trust Peter's teacher. And once again came to Peter's house. But he had only been in the room a short time. Was attacked by a monster hiding in the shadows. The teacher has a calf injury. Lay on the ground. What was it that attacked him? I didn't expect the moment he saw it. I was scared to death. He wanted to open the door and escape. I didn't realize that the door wouldn't open. Then the teacher heard Peter's voice. The teacher who couldn't run away had to go upstairs to find him. Peter finally, in the room, found Peter trapped in the wall. After the teacher closed the door with a stick, use a crowbar to break a big hole in the wall. Save Peter. The 2 men ran to the gate with the key. But as soon as I went out, I heard Peter's screams. Once again, he was captured by his sister. This time his sister locked him in the basement, but the teacher did not abandon him. Still turned and went to the basement. I was gonna kill Peter's sister. I'll have to go after the teacher first. But just as my sister was about to kill her teacher, Peter grabbed his sister by the hair, used it as a rope to climb up. After Peter climbs up, the teacher worked with him to get his sister down. The monster was finally locked up. My sister's voice was soft again.
Please, don't. You're my brother. Let's go. Don't you see, Peter? It's in our blood. You killed Mom and Dad. You're just like me. No! We're not like you.
When Peter refused, my sister's voice grew old and cast his own curse upon him. Every night Peter could not forget to close the door, because he's gonna haunt Peter until he dies.